Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, can you hear me? Um, can you hear me? All right. Hello. If anyone can hear me, please, I would like you to drop an emoji or a message in the comments. So we're going to wait for others to join us. Thank you for joining us. We have one of the speakers here. Thank you for joining us. Please invite your friends and colleagues. Send the link to others. We are live. Please, if you can hear me, I would like you to drop an emoji in the comments or a message just to be sure that. All right. So we're going to give others time to join us. Good evening, everyone. Thanks again for joining us this evening. My name is Princess, and I will be your moderator today. Good evening, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining us. This is the student code, And my name is Princess, and I will be your moderator for today. Please, while we wait for others to join us, you can drop your names and your universities in the comments. Let us know where you are connecting from. Let us know where you're connecting from. Can drop your rep your uni in the comment section. So it's 10 minutes already. I think we should proceed. We're still waiting for the speakers to join us. Thank you for joining us. This is the student code. You're welcome to the student code. My name is Princess, and I will be your moderator today. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, okay. All right. I think we'd have to proceed now while we wait for others to join. Please, if you have anyone that should be here who is not here, please kindly send them the link so they can join. Let them know that we have started. So basically, the student code was organized to help students who are struggling with their grades, to help you improve your grades, to give you real life insights from people who have been in your situation, people who have been there, people who have experienced, people who are more experienced rather, to gain insights from them. So we are here to learn. We are here to learn, and we are here to prepare for the life after uni. Some of the speakers are graduates, so they are in the best positions to, tell you how to prepare for a life after graduation, how to have the most of your university days, how to study and also have fun as a student. So we're still waiting for the speakers to get here. Please, we still have to wait for more people to join because our number is a bit too low. So we'd have to wait for more people to join before we can proceed. So please bear with us. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll be having two sessions. First of all, we're going to have the first session with the convener of this program, which is Deborah Ibukunoluwa. A lot of you might know her already. After which we would have a panelist session with the four speakers, where you can ask your questions and everything that you want to ask. Yes, we received some of your questions already and we'll be answering some of them. But if you would still like to ask any question by the end of this session, during the panelist session, you can still drop whatever questions that you have in the comments section. I think you should be hearing me. I don't know who else is not hearing. I heard someone say they can hear me, so probably it's from your own end if you can't hear me, because there are people who can hear me. Okay, while we're still waiting for Deborah to get here, please, I will be adding one of our speakers here with me so we can be answering some questions while we wait. If that is okay. I want to add somebody to the stage with me. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello. Are you referring to me, please?
Come again.
Am I live?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I really do not know how stream operates. That's why I'm asking to be sure.
Yes, we're supposed to like do a test run, but it's fine. You just have to turn on your camera so we can see you. That's fine.
Can we go ahead without the camera? I've been trying to put on the camera. It's not coming on.
It's not.
Yes. I don't know
Okay, good
why.
evening.
Yeah. Good
It's
evening.
fine. We can proceed. Oh, device is no longer connected. Can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so my name is Princess. I would like to get to know you because we haven't spoken. So, can we get to know you, please?
All right. I am Ebunoluwa.
Okay.
Aiyepgha. I'm a graduate of the Department of Mechanical Engineering of Ebunoluwa University.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm currently serving. I'm a core member
Okay.
at the department also. I am currently acting as an assistant lecturer, graduate assistant at the department.
Okay. It's so good to have you here with us today. So,
Yeah,
I
thank you
believe
very
you have
much.
a lot for the students. I hope you're ready to answer their questions, to share your experience, and give
Yeah,
advice to
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
So if you don't mind, while we're still waiting for more people to join, and also the host and other speakers, for those that are on live with us right now, I would like to take some questions from what they've sent to us. I would like to take some questions, then we can just maybe answer some of those questions while we still wait for Deborah to have her session, if that's fine with you.
Oh, that's fine. You can go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I'll just be reading the questions. I can't put it on the screen, so I'll just be reading out if that's fine. If there's a way for me to put it on the screen, I would. Okay, Deborah is here already. I'm going to add her to this screen right now, please. Hello, Ibukun, can you hear us?
Okay, since right, let me confirm. Um, Hi, Princess. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me very
You're
well, right?
welcome. Yes, very well. Mm, she's no longer connected. I don't know. She's no longer connected.
Maybe you
Um,
should go ahead with the question you want me to answer.
okay, there's no problem. Let me open it right now. Okay, now I'll be asking you the first question right now. And the first question is obviously you're a graduate and you're now serving according to what you said. So the question is, what surprised you the most about life after graduation that students are not prepared for? What surprised you the most about life after graduation that students are not prepared for? Can you please answer that?
Okay. Um, I think that's quite a big question, but I'll try
Yeah,
streamline the question um, to the way I think the person who asked the question would want to know. All right. So, one of the first thing that should I say? Did you use the word surprise?
yes,
Okay. I mean, at first, you would actually feel like you are now free. I won't lie. Now, I actually feel like, I'm free. I'm free in the sense that I don't have to wake up by, let's say, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock compulsorily to go for lectures because as a good student, I attend all my lectures. So if I have a lecture by 8, I'll be there. If I have a lecture by wherever, I'll be there. So, but now I'm not waking up very early again to go for lecture. So, I mean, it's that's different at first that you have the freedom now. But the second thought about the thing is you now start looking at yourself like an adult. Of course, it's not as if you weren't an adult before, but now it's like another layer of responsibility is now attached to you. Another layer of
yeah,
responsibility. You now start working like this mindset of you like to be your boss.
yeah,
NYC, for example, of course, NYC and for those that are working, if you are not self-employed, every job has its own rule. You have to do this, you have to get to work at this time, you have to leave at this time, you have to. I mean, you are literally under someone. You can't just do whatever you want to do. It can cost you your job, can cost you can receive query. And so now it looks like even though you're not waking up early again to go for lectures, and even though you are not in a hurry to, all those things, although not everybody goes for lecture, I mean, but now you now have to do what you have to do if you don't want to get query and if you don't want to have issues at the place of work. So I feel like I actually initially felt like I was free, but when I started my service fully, it now looks like it's a whole lot. I was discussing with one of my friends. I said it's a whole lot waking up by, let's say, 7, trying to get to work by 8. And imagine you flying this Lagos road where you have to spend about 1 hour or 2 hours in the hold up in the morning and sometimes in the evening, every day, Monday to Friday. And you can't just decide to say, okay, I mean, I'm tired. Yesterday work was so stressful. I'm not going to work today. You can't, because you know you're going to receive query. So one of the
Yeah.
things that was done on me is that life, I mean, responsibility has come. I'm an adult, and I can't just do anything I want to do now if I want to survive. Yes. So one of the things that people used to think that, oh, I mean, when I'm out of school, I'll relax, I will start resting, and no, it doesn't work like that. Except maybe you are self-employed, and even if you are self-employed, there are still some level of discipline that you would still attach to your job for you to excel. So
Yeah.
when you are out of school, it does not automatically come that you are now free. It doesn't happen like that. It
Yeah.
just shows that you are now at a different level, and different responsibilities and are attached. And you have to now live up to the task. You have to live up to the task. Otherwise, many things will not work out. So I think the mindset of you thinking when you leave school you're going to be free. Well, maybe it's not true. Maybe it's not true. When I handed my exams and I did my convocation, maybe for the first 2 3 months, I had my time to myself. Yes, I could say I wanted to go to wherever I want to go to, but life cannot continue like that. You need to plan your life.
Yeah.
After your university days, are you planning to go for your graduate studies? If not, are you planning to go into the labor market? Are you planning to, many things? You start planning. Time wait for no man,
Yeah.
and you're also getting older. So it's like when you're out of university, it like you now have the should I call it a blank check to decide how your future is going to go, whether it's going to be great,
Yeah.
whether it's not going to be great. So you may not really be free like that. You may not really be free. It just means that you have your time to yourself and you have decisions to make. And if that's the case, I do not think anybody wants to live in a future where you have to regret that. If I had known, I would have started planning my life after school. I would have started doing this. I would have. Nobody wants to live in regret. So I think
Yeah.
that mindset of you'll be free after university, it's not true. Yes, it's not true. It is just like um, every layer or every level you have different responsibility to live up to, and that's just the reality. So I think
All
that's just
right.
the summary of the question.
Okay. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
answering
you're
that
welcome.
perfectly well. I would also like to share something. I'm also a graduate who is done with service at the moment, and the question again for those who are just joining is we're talking about as graduates the things that surprised us after graduation that students are not prepared for. Well, for me, the thing that surprised me the most is I don't know if a lot of students are aware or not, but um, once you're done with school, we go to school with the mindset of after once you're done with school, once you're done with service, we'll probably just get a job and start working, and our life would be easier. But it's not like that. In fact, after graduation, it's even only just beginning, because while I was in school, I thought maybe if I passed with good grades and graduate and finish my NYC, I will automatically get a job. But it is not true. The truth is that what you're even getting out of school for your 4 years is just a certificate. It doesn't make you employable or stuffs like that. The fact that you have a certificate does not guarantee that you are qualified for a job. Do you get what I'm saying? So, as students, what I would have done if I was still in school is I would build skills. I didn't prepare very well And it surprised me a lot that even if I'm a graduate, I don't have skills. I don't have enough skills that guarantees employment. Do you get what I mean? So that is something that really surprised me. I don't know if it's just me, but that was it
Yes,
for
that's
me.
correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's why I was telling my junior, I mean the current year four and year five students in engineering and year three students rather, they are going for their internship. And I was saying, well, if you really know what is good for you shouldn't go for the money, because most of them, or let me say, many of them
Exactly.
chatted me up. Many of them chatted me up, and they were like, they want to do their IT here. They want to do, and I was like, well, it's not a bad thing if you want to do your internship in this so place. If you think because of the money, that's fine. But you see, one of the things you need to realize about the country we have now, Nigeria, is that without a skill, it might be very hard for you to survive, and that's the reality. That's the reality. It's not automatic that because you have a first class, in fact, because you have a good grade, as you're graduating, a job is waiting for you. It doesn't work like that. So I can remember when I was doing my internship, I literally did not go to the companies I I had opportunity to go to. All right. You know, when you have an uncle that says, come and work here. I looked at it, I said,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big company now. It's a big company, and I'm going to get the recognition. I'm going to, in fact, I've not started my IT, just going alone and then realizing that, oh, he's my uncle. I was already getting those kind of long leg vibes. I was already getting
Yeah.
it. But I look at it on the long run, like, what if I am done with IT? Can I apply what I'm going to be learning here? It's not possible for me to apply. It's not possible for me to be self-independent. So I just told my uncle, I said, you see, I don't want to do my IT here. All right. I don't want to do my internship here. So just let me do it in a place I have interest in. And so he helped me. I was able to get a place where I would have loved to work. And there I was into HVAC systems. HVAC system is a full meaning, like, is a short for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And what I was
Yeah.
basically doing, because it's a section in my department, mechanical engineering, is a subsection. All I was basically doing was maintenance, installation, partly procurement of HVAC system, like your AC, your refrigerator, how you prepare them, how you install them. I was learning that officially, and I was learning it unofficially. I know you may not understand what I mean, but what I mean is I was learning it at a company, because of course, engineering student, there is this, you must go to a place where they have stamp for your logbook so that they can stamp your logbook. You can't go to this kind of baba beji, like someone at one corner like that. It doesn't have stamp, it doesn't have address, it doesn't have any recognition. I mean, you can't go to somewhere like that. You have to go to a place that's recognized, because when your supervisor wants to come check on you, they should be able to locate you. So I was doing it at that kind of place where, no problem, if you want to come see me, you will see me at my place of work. But because I want to learn more, I realized that if I wanted to know this thing better than what they are teaching me here, I needed to go extra mile. So because in a company, you cannot just touch their equipment, you cannot just touch their instruments, you cannot just touch their machines, because they
Yeah.
believe you're an intern. So someone has to be there with you, someone has to teach you, and if no one is there, you can't just use those things anyhow. So it's like a limit to me, sort of. But when you learn from people on the street, those ones, they will teach you. In fact, certain things that I was not taught while I was learning at this standard company, I got to learn it while I was learning on the street. And I'm going to give one example. I hope I'm still live, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're right. Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
So I could remember there was an instance. So my mom's refrigerator at home developed fault, and so she called the technician to come check it. And so when the technician came, the technician told her, just bamboozle her with the compressor, the this thing, the that thing. I wasn't there, but my mommy told me. I was like, no problem. This man just wants to dupe you. This compressor is good. He didn't have idea that I know about what he's talking about. And so He said my mom is going to pay like I think 30,000. Is going to bring another one. I was like, 30,000. Don't worry. Let me test it myself. I brought out the compressor. I took it to my shop. I tested it. It was working perfectly fine. So I told my mom, I said, look at what this man said is not working. Mom was surprised. I was like, really? I would have paid 30,000 naira for just this thing like that. Because these people are just lying. I said, no, it's working. So when the guy came back, he was surprised. He had to start changing this thing that that was not what I meant, this, that. And it's my mom was just so happy. So my point is, you see, if I had gone for the money or if I had gone for the recognition, perhaps I wouldn't have learned what I learned from that man. I actually went extra mile because I wanted to have a skill. I mean, when it comes to academics, I was doing fine, but I do not just want to have academics because I'm someone that I actually love to link engineering with your classroom knowledge. I don't just like academics alone. I want it to be academics and engineering together. So I'm into academics and I'm into engineering. So it's just like you need a skill in the kind of world we are going to today. No matter how sound you may be, it will not be automatic. And something I told my student is, even if you cannot get a job, let's say maybe you really, I know everybody wants to work in Chevron, everybody wants to work in Shell. One of my students that came back from Chevron is currently in part 5. He was telling me that was when he was in part 4. He said Chevron told him that for the past 10 years they have not sent out anything like they want to employ like job vacancy. That for the past 10 years they have not. That they actually did it one time, and that was when he was having his internship then, and they took very few. Very few. So imagine you have over 5,000 people and they want to pick just 10. Look at the percentage, look at the ratio. It is very low. So you can put just bank on when you finish your university, you are going to have a white collar job. And no, and that doesn't mean you should have a bad grade. That is to say, oh, because you know that there is nothing like my grade cannot do anything for me, so I don't really care. No, you see, I like telling people that it is better for you to have the grade and you may not use it. That's fine. Than you not having the grade where you are going to need it. So don't say because you are not going to. No, it shouldn't be like that. So you have a good grade, fine, but beyond the grade, you must also have something you are doing. You must also have a skill. You must also have a skill. So I'm just trying to say that. For those who are still in the university, all right, the world is not like when you come out, there is something for you to do automatically. It doesn't work like that. You can use the opportunity, you can use the break to actually find something to do so that the reality does not eat you hard when you come out of university. Yes, so that you don't start looking like, what am I going to do with my life now? When I got to camp, that means NYC camp, you see a lot of people now start imagining, I mean, I'm out of school, no one is sending me Alawi again. So after camp, what am I going to do? Of recent, I was discussing with one of my friends. I think on Thursday we are at the CDS, and because NYC hasn't paid us for maybe like for 3 months now, they have not paid us. And so she was like, NYC hasn't paid you. And I was like, really? I don't know. Are you serious? And sincerely, I do not know, because the account NYC is paying money to, I don't even check it. I don't even go there. I don't even touch it. So I actually do not know. So she was like, NYC hasn't paid you. I need money. And I was asking a sincere question, and she was like, because you are doing something, you don't. I said, no, it's not like that. And I'm being serious right now. I have never thought about NYC money before. I've never thought that, oh, NYC money is coming, and no, because I have something I'm doing. And it started while I was in school. I was just intentional. I said, this is my internship period. I am not just going to a place where I'm just going to receive money and sit down and just for the, for the euphoria of it, for the fame, for the, me too. I went to Chevron. I also served in an NNPC. I served in this big place. Whatever I'm going to be learning, I must be able to be independent. And so I choose a path in my field. And today I'm by the grace of God, I'm fine. So that's just one of the advice I want for you people that are still students. That I mean, job is not automatic. Yes, you understand. I know you will not believe. Maybe it sounds like it's not true, and maybe because we were students too. I also had that mindset that like, if I had good grade, maybe it's just to go
Yeah,
for an interview.
exactly.
So you may not believe as a student, but you see, reality will hit you hard. Like it's true. There's no job. Yes, there is no
And that's
job.
what students don't get. They don't get it
Yes.
till they get to where
Probably
we are
because
right now.
yes, exactly. Maybe when we're students, you still have the mindset of no, when I get there, of course I believe in miracle.
Mm,
Okay, I believe that things can work out well for you. But how many people? How many people? So it is better for you to work with the certainty, like work with what is defined. All right, you work with the rule,
yeah.
then you hope that something happens. Maybe that becomes the exception. And so the rule is ask graduates today, is there job? No, many are self-employed. And you can get something doing even now that you are still a student. Then when you graduate, you can just build on it, you can just improve, you can just further more and be independent. So I think that's what I have to say on the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was wonderful. One of our speakers is here, so I'm going to be adding him to the studio right now. I'm going to be adding him here so we can also hear from him and maybe direct the next question to him. I'm going to add him to the stage. Hello, can you hear us? Hello. His mic is mute. I can't hear him. So I think we'll just have to continue with the questions. Okay, there's someone here. Mohammed is here. I'm going to add him so we can talk with him. Good evening, Mohammed.
Good evening. Good evening, Deborah.
Thank you for joining us. Good evening. How are you doing? How's your day been?
Fine, 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 fine. How was yours?
Was good, thank you. You're joining us late, but it is fine. Currently, we're taking questions from the students, some of the questions that we received. But before then, I would like you to introduce yourself because it's also my first time meeting you. My name is Princess. Um, so can you please introduce yourself to us and just tell us a little bit about yourself, your uni, just briefly.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ajani Mohammed, a 400 level student at the Department of History and International Studies, Faculty of Arts in the prestigious University of Illinois. I'm a writer. I do all forms of writing. Basically, I'm a creative writer. I I write. And I'm also a fashion designer and a student politician and also a full-time politician in the outside world.
Wow.
That's a brief overview.
All right. Thank you very much. Hope you don't mind because we're taking questions. Hope you don't mind answering a few questions. We just finished answering the first question with Ebunoluwa. So while he's taking a break, I would like to address the next question to you. Is that fine? Is
No
that
problem, no
fine?
problem. Yeah,
All
yeah, yeah,
right.
no problem.
So the question is, what opportunities on campus do students often overlook that could significantly impact their future? Did you get that?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, from experience, this is my fourth year as an undergraduate, and I would say I've been in the students community for a good time, and I would say one of the opportunities that students underexplore as undergraduates
Yeah.
is the opportunity of scholarship. I'll say students do not really maximize the opportunity of getting scholarships and grants as undergraduates enough. It's something that they do not really go into the field. They believe that before they can get the scholarship, it has to be through somebody. They don't know that just with having good, what's it called, good CGPA and you knowing how to do what to feel and also knowing what to feel at the right time can easily do what get to scholarship. I know a good number of people that lecturers do that they said they got scholarship during their masters, during their postgraduate studies, and I'll say that is when a lot of them used to do what really maximize the opportunity. And as undergrads, I'll say it is just the opportunity of scholarship that they don't maximize enough. So I will employ everybody in life today that they should also explore and also employ the avenue of exploring scholarship. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, exploring scholarships as an undergraduate, you can start now and start planning for and start preparing rather for a scholarship for after you graduate. Even while you're still in school as an undergraduate, you can still get scholarships. You don't necessarily need um, connections to get scholarships. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities that are out there for students, both locally and internationally. So thank you very much, Mohammed, for answering that. Ebunoluwa, is there anything you'd like to add on that? Some opportunities you think students overlook that could impact, you know, their future? Anything you do you have anything for us?
All right. I think most of them joining this call are already in, I think, with part three, sorry, my university, we use parts. I'm sorry. If I say part three, that's 300
Okay.
level, and part four, 400 level, part five, 500 level. I'm sorry. I've been used to that. Okay. So I think most of them on the call are in part two, part three, part four. But one of the things I like to say is that most of the scholarships that comes out every year, all right, majorly
Yeah.
for part one, but not only for part one students. All right. I actually got a scholarship when I was in I think part two or part three, which most people would not expect to get at that level, which I understand the sentiment. All right. You're likely to see 90%, I mean 95 of yeah, percent of scholarship for part one, maybe 5% for part two, part three. That's even if you check well or if you are very well updated. So I think I would like to say that no matter the level you have, what is very important is the information, all right, the right access to information. All right, there are always scholarship for all level. It's just that it might be minimal, but just try to be well updated. Join groups where they used to share update on these things, and always give it a try. Let me use our normal this thing. Try your luck, okay? Don't you ever say, well, I don't think I can get in. I mean, it's not maybe no. Still give it a try. In fact, when you give it a try, even if you do not get it eventually, you kind of have the mindset or you know what to do when you have such an opportunity again. Maybe the last time I've applied to several things. I passed the first stage. All right. Maybe there
Yeah.
are two stages. I passed the first one, then the second one it was interview. Then after the interview, they say, "Oh, I didn't move to the next stage." Oh, what was it? Oh, they said this, that, and from there, I learned one or two things. So when I have such opportunity again, I would know the right thing to do. So do not just relent and say, well, I'm in part two, I'm in part five, there is nothing for me. No, you just need the information. And once you have it, don't be lazy. Apply. You can apply for 7, apply for 10. Even the one that you don't qualify, apply. You are just, what I mean qualify as per, let's say you're in part five and they say part two above. So you know that there are chances that they won't give part five student because you are outgoing already. All right. I was in my final year. In fact, I've done my exam. I had done my exam and I applied for a scholarship. Why they were paying, I wasn't paid. I mean, what was I expecting? What was I expecting? I was already a graduate, but I applied nonetheless. I applied nonetheless.
Yes.
Although some people that were also graduate also got, but probably because of the number or things like that. So I'm just trying to say that um, always give it a try. Yes, always give it a try. Don't be lazy. Get the right access to the
Okay.
information, and once you have it, give it a try. You might be lucky. You never can tell. So that's it, Princess. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to add my own 2 cents to the question. So something I think opportunities I think students overlook is also internship opportunities. Like you mentioned when you were speaking, when you were answering the first questions, sometimes people might take um internship slightly. They might be looking at big companies to do their internships. They are not really going because they want to gain experience or learn. They are actually going because of the money and just to like bear the name that they are working with big companies. But internship, like taking focusing on your internship and taking it seriously, can impact your future. Because once you graduate and you're in the job market, your internship year can be an experience in your CV. So sometimes students overlook that as well. They don't take it seriously. And also something else I feel students overlook is um um getting certifications while still in school, learning other skills aside their course of study, because your course alone, your certificate alone can't guarantee you a job. So while you're still in school, it's important that you explore opportunities like learning skills that is required for your dream role or your dream job. So that is also something I feel like students overlook and they should take more seriously. So thank you everyone for your answers. I'll be going to the next questions. So the next question I want to ask is, do you think students should focus on one career path or explore multiple side hustles while still in school? Do you think they should just one career path? And Mohammed, I would like you to go first, please.
Okay, from what you said, I would say position determines perspective, and perspective is also determined by position. That is to say, you can explore one career and you'll do well in it, and you can also explore as many as possible and you also do well in it. And they'll say, and there's another saying that goes this way, that jack of all trade, master of none. So sometimes it is good that you do what, you concentrate on just a career and you make sure that you're a master of it. And you being a master of it means you know the intricacies of it and you maximize it fully. And also, if you are somebody that you are good with multitasking and you are always free to learning and also learning on a wide range, you can explore a several you can a several of opportunities you can still explore. And it is necessary that whatever you are doing, you do it well, because it is not the starting that counts. It is always the what, the finishing and the what's it called, the sustainability of whatever you are doing. So it is just depending on perspective and also the positioning of it. So students can either explore one career if they believe that that is what suits them, and they can also explore as many as possible if that is what suits them also. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that beautiful answer. So, Ebunoluwa, we are waiting for your own answer. You're up next.
Okay. Yeah. Mohammed has rightly answered the question. But another perspective I would say is that sometimes student might be lazy. Yes, sometimes it might be due to laziness, or sometimes it might be due to, should I use the word, they do not believe in themselves. And I can say that
Okay.
from experience. You see, sometimes you can actually multitask, but you do not know you can multitask until situation arrives that you don't have any other thing to do than to multitask. Okay, let me give an example. Student, most of the times, of course, I wasn't used to I mean, I wasn't a student that usually do this thing I want to say now, but this like on a general ground. When students have been given assignments, you would notice that it's going to be a day before submission that your eyes will be open. That you may even do 6 hours straight, not sleeping, just to get the assignment done. Now the thing is, before that day, if there was no penalty attached, before a day before the submission, if there was no penalty attached, like you rightly know that if you do not submit this assignment, you are not losing anything, nothing is going to happen. You can rightly say you're not going to do it, and you won't do it. But because you know that there is something attached that if you don't submit this assignment, you'll be dealt with. Just that mentality alone makes you, the student, to stand up and do the assignment. Even though it may not be the best, but you will still do it because you know that there is an implication, or let me say there is a repercussion to you not doing that particular assignment. So when it comes to students exploring different paths while they're in school, I would say yes, if you can. But secondly, if you think you cannot, maybe you should give it a try first. At least give it a try and be sure that I tried this thing, I didn't make it or it wasn't working, then I had to stop. Other than you just having the mindset of I cannot do it, it cannot work. If I usually tell my students, I said the best result I had was when I was most busy. Yes, I was executive in my fellowship. I had a tutorial, I run, I teach, I do a whole lot of things. I was still having a GPA of 4.9. Yes, I was having a GPA of 4.7. And when I was in part one, when I wasn't doing anything, I wasn't having 4.9, I was having 4.7. So the thing is, sometimes when you are in that situation where you don't have any option than to survive, or when you are in that situation where you don't have any option than to do what you have to do, you will actually find a way around it. It's just time management. I discovered that when I was involved in fellowship, involved in teaching, involved in all I had to do was just to have this kind of um time management. I know that I have gone to
Yeah.
church, I have done this, I have done that. Now I can't just waste my time. When I'm back from church, I'm still going to teach. I will do that, I'll do that. I have to read my own book too. So I cut off irrelevancies. Where I shouldn't go to. You can't just call me anyhow and you see me there. You can't be doing something on campus and one superstar is coming and you think I will go there because I've actually used most of my time doing other things. Now I need to sit down to read, and I will sit down and I will read my book. So I would say that if students have the opportunity to actually explore or to actually find something doing while they are students, all right, they should give it a try.
Yeah.
But if you discover that, okay, you cannot multitask, maybe it is affecting your academics, then maybe you should put a stop or a pause at the moment until you get, of course, I know that you would need to get advice from the right people. It's not as if you cannot, it's just that you just need to delegate a little bit of time. And I think it will be
Yeah.
fine. Just time management. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for answering that question. So the next question I would like Mohammed to answer because he said he's into politics while in school and a student. So one of the questions we got here was how do I balance studies and social activities as a student? So from your own experience, how do you do that? How do you balance your studies? How do you focus on studies while still taking part of political activities in school?
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. I would say the way I've been able to balance mine is just the way the Nigerians have been surviving the economy. I would say it is not something that is complex. Balancing academics with extracurricular activities, be it politics, be it volunteering, I would say it is not something out of complex. It is just based on your time management and your ability to do what? to schedule activities properly and also manage them properly. Uh, as a student politician, I would say politics can be demanding, academics can
Okay.
also be demanding, and also other activities can also be demanding. So that's when effective time management comes in. You should learn to do what allocate time and also do what make sure that you don't use beyond the time. There will be some times that okay, it's going to be fully dedicated to politics. When it is political period, you know that this period, if you read, automatically you're only deceiving yourself. You just do what devote it to politics. And when it is time for academics, that okay, you want to do your montada, you don't used to say it here, that probably you want to revive your CPA. You just do what dedicate the whole time for the what for your academics. And if you're also into business, you should also learn to do what schedule your activities. If you know that your business is always demanding you being in store, like those that have physical store, you should do what you'll be able to do what make sure that your timetable for academics does not do what clash with the time that you'll be spending in store. And if it's also an online business that you do remotely, it is not something that will always be demanding you always responding or being online here always. Is you that will do what look for a time to do what look for a way to schedule your time. That okay, from so period to so period, I'll reply to all my messages, I'll answer my customers, I'll do this, do that. And when it's time for academics, you just do what dedicate it. And even if it requires you detoxing yourself, like for some periods, that you just do what you just go off, you just do it. And I'll say it is important that we learn to multitask as undergraduates, because in the real society, in the full society, you can't just do just one thing and expect and be expecting result of somebody that is doing five things. In as much as you want to concentrate and you want to do what you want to major in speak sorry in a field, it is important that
Yeah.
we learn to do what to multitask, because in every field there's always a room for you multitasking. Even if you are doing an office work, if you are in social department like human resources, in that
Yeah.
human resources department, there will be in that human resources department, you can even be moved towards God to advertising or publicity team in the department, that you have to do what do other things. And if you say, okay, this is the only thing I can do, I cannot do this, automatically you are limiting yourself. So you should be open to opportunities. You should be free from boundaries. So it is important that everybody learn to multitask from now. Because, and I would say multitasking is not hard. It is just your ability to just what to just embrace it and also work on it and also adopt it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for answering that question. The next question, Ebunoluwa, I would like you to answer this next question. The question is, what skills do you think students can start building today as undergraduates, students still in school? What skills do you think they can start building that will pay off quickly after their graduation?
Ah, what skill?
Yeah.
Um, I would say that question, different departments. It might be best answered per department. But let me just speak in a general way, and I'm going to use engineering as an example. Then any other ones that comes to my head. All right, what skill in engineering? Once you're in part, of course, as a graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University, once you're a
Yeah.
student of engineering, as at part three, which is 300 level, you would have learned at least three that you can actually use while you are still a student to make money. That's Python, MATLAB, and Excel. You would have done that after your part three. Those are skills. Those are soft skills. So the question saying after graduation, I would say that even while you are a student, you can have a skill that you can be using to make money. It's just that there are different type of skill. If you're talking about, is it the soft one, all right? I understand. Is he the one that's not the soft skill? So I'm just trying to say that depends on what department you are. I would say, firstly, if your department require that you have a particular kind of skill on your CV to make you employable, maybe you should just try to have that kind of skill. I mean, maybe a soft skill. I'm just giving an example now. You may try to have that while you're a student,
Yeah.
and you master that. You can actually start making money, not until you graduate. You can actually start making money while you are a student. Then probably when you are done, then you can improve on that particular skill. So depending on your department, or if you want to go generic, like you don't want to, you're not looking for a skill in line with the department. Yes, I've seen art students learning coding. I've seen, non-engineering students learning coding, and they're making money from it. So that's also part of it. But the art skill, we have many of them. We have many of them. While I was in part one of my roommates was learning tailoring. Yes, yes, part one, he was learning tailoring. So he goes off campus on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. After Friday, he goes off campus, then comes back during the week, then goes off campus. And before I graduated, he was already sewing, he was already good. So just look around, look at what people would need your service for, all right? Or look at what people really need. Because sometimes people do not check that. People do not do what we call the market survey. All right. What am I going to sell here? Or what am I going to get involved in here that I would actually have people that will require or demand for my service? When you do that kind of market survey, then it gives you an idea that if I start this now, based on the community I have found myself, people will demand for my service. Let me give you an example. If you are good at teaching, all right, if you stay in school
Yeah.
area, example, university area, you know that your service will be needed. There are post-UTME students, YX students, O-level students, and then probably you are good, you can teach at the university level. Your service will be needed. So the point is, do market survey, look at what people would require or what people really need in the place where you find yourself, then venture into it. And if it is not just, your skill should not be just the physical alone, all right? It could be soft also. You could just check online, there are many things online that you can learn. And you just go online there, download YouTube videos, and start practicing, start learning. So I believe anybody can be whatsoever he or she chooses to become, if and only if you are willing. All right. It depends on your, should I use the word, your um uh how bad you want it. Yes, how bad you want it. All right. Do I really want this thing? If you want it, then you can go for it. Of course, I won't say it will be very easy or it will come easily. Like, you can't just expect that you are combining academics to another thing and you expect it to be, no. Nobody promises that it's going to be very easy, or that when you start it, it's just going to be going on smoothly. No, it doesn't happen like that. But because you know what is ahead of you, you know what you are pursuing, all right? You know that your current state needs
Yeah.
to improve. You just have to just maneuver your ways and work with a timetable that works for you. And after that, just go ahead, all right? And it's going to be fine. So thank you very much, Princess.
All right. Thank you very much for that beautiful answer. We now have Ibukunoluwa with us here, so I'm going to be adding her to the stage. I'm going to take you out for a moment. Um, So Ibukunoluwa is our convener and our host. She's going to introduce herself to us just like the other speakers have done, and she's going to go in depth for this program. She has a lot to say, I believe. So she's going to share her own experiences and give us some insights. So Ibukunoluwa, over to you.
Hey everyone, good evening. I hope you're doing great.
Yeah.
Apologies, you may not be able to see me very well, but Yeah. So I think I would really like to know how far we've gone and what more we need to do so that I know how best to come in. Has Mohammed spoken at all? Let me know what has been done.
Yeah,
Please.
he
Thank
he answered some questions. We're taking questions from questions that students sent. We're taking some questions. We're just answering questions. We're answering questions from their experience. So that's just all we've been doing. We've just been taking some questions that was sent to us.
you. Okay. And all right, very good. So I think Mohammed needs to go very soon. So I think I'll probably just direct few questions to him so that he can proceed to the next one. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You have to introduce yourself, please. I didn't introduce you to the audience. Some of them might not know you. So before you proceed, just introduce yourself to them.
Okay. Is Rama on? Is Rama here?
She, I think she is, but she hasn't spoken yet.
I don't think I can see her here. Okay. So, well, I believe that the bio should have been read, but since it has not been read, I wouldn't be the one to like read that. But I think you can basically just get to know more about me on my link tree or my social media handles. I think you would actually get substantial information about me there. But I'm Deborah Ibukunoluwa ADEROGBA. Okay. I think I want to ask, were the bios of Muhammad and the panelists read?
No, I didn't read the bios. I just asked them to introduce themselves.
You would have read. Okay, that's fine. So how do you want to ask Mohammed and Ebun few questions? Please, if you've answered any of these questions, let me know so that I can proceed to the next one. But let me add Mohammed needs to come on the screen and please just remove this. Yeah.
Okay.
Mohammed, can you hear me? I think you're muted.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, very good. So now I would really want to ask you, you are a student at Uniloring and you're also the president of how was your transition into the political space? What made you start that one? Because I don't know what your goal was when you started school, but I think I want you to probably mention that. What was your goal when you started school? Started school, right? What was your goal when you started school? And then how did you transition into politics? And how would you say you've been able to balance that life, your school life, politics, extracurricular activities? Because I know that we definitely have people here who probably want to do more than being a triangle student, going to class and then going to getting back home and all of that. But they want to really engage in other things. So what exactly would you have to tell them? You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, well, when I got admitted into University of Ilorin, I before resuming at all, I had a plan already, and it was between politics and joining the paramilitary. Those were my two, what's it called, big options. So after scaling it and also consulting people I know that they've gone through both parts, then I later settled for politics. And coming on campus, it's not as if I just flew into the space. It was a gradual process. It was a thing of understanding the society and learning what to do, how to do, and when to do them. So it was not something that I just saw myself there all of a sudden. It's something I also did what I was trained for, and I was also what I was coded for it at some point, and I was also praised for it at some point. So I'll say it is not something that is hard. It's not something difficult. It is just you understanding yourself and also understanding your capacity, what you can do, and how best you can do things. And I would say politics is not for everybody, and it is for everybody. It is not for everybody in the sense that it is not for everybody. It is not everybody that can contest for elections, but it is everybody that has to participate in governance if indeed they want the government to work. And the way it is in student unionism, that is the way it is also in national politics also. And participating in politics doesn't mean you have to do what, so, come out for rally, come out for, but the minimum you can do is that when it is time for you to do what, do your own part as what's called as the electorate. You should also do it. Everybody is given the opportunity to vote as students, and you should not embrace apathy, no matter how small it is. And the problem of apathy in Nigeria today, I'll say it is part of it is uh, it is a result of what we've also done in school. I cannot vote. All of them, they are the same. What are they doing for us? And I'll also tell everybody here today that is a student or is still going to be a student that unionism has grown and also transformed and also transitioned. The unionism we practice in union learning, the way I told Deborah that when we first met, I said it is a constructive unionism and it is not the aluta again, it is now the aloha, as our vice chancellor will always say it. So we are now embracing the spirit of aloha in University of Ilorin unionism. So it is not a unionism where we just do what, go to the field to protest. It is a unionism of dialogue, compromise. So we go on compromise and do what, go on protest. So it is you just understanding the space. The way unionism was projected before I got admitted was once you enter unionism on campus, you have to be rugged, you have to be rigid, you have to be somebody that even when they are calling you that okay, this thing is wrong, you will say it's a lie, it is right. You have to be somebody that is going to be very, it's more or less like telling the mixed thuggery to unionism. So when I got to University of Ilorin, then I saw that in the space is there's no room for mediocrity or what's it called? Any there's no tolerance for any misconduct. So it is a unionism of what's it called? Of people with high intellect. So it is you understanding the space and knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And uh, I'll just say balancing it, it is not hard. As I've said earlier, it is you just understanding yourself. When you know what you can do and how you can do it, then it's always be hard. You should learn to manage your time, learn to manage your activities, you should know your capacity, and you should also learn how to multitask. Because if you say you don't want to multitask, then you are willing to do nothing. So your ability to multitask will determine how far and how well you want to go and grow. So it is important that everybody learns how to multitask. Multitasking is not something optional, it is something mandatory on everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the fact that you actually said something and you said that politics is not for everyone. So it means that as a student, you need to really know your strengths and you need to know what exactly you can do. For me, when I was in uni, I told myself that I was actually not going to like participate in partisan politics, basically because I didn't want anything that would take my time for too long. I mean, I didn't want an engagement that would like drag me or that would make me so committed for a long period of time. I mean, throughout the session. So I would prefer to just like take in one of jobs and all, or one of roles or tasks and all of that. But I think I love your perspective. Really, I think on the last note, I would like to ask you if you are to look back at your part one self, what is that one thing, or what are the advice that you would actually give your part one self now? Now that you have grown, now that you have learned lots of lessons, what is the advice that you give your part one self in different as regards different aspects of being a student, your academic, your social life, all aspects of your life? What advice would you give a part one you?
Well, if I should look back to my past one, I would say it is a bit epic because when I got admitted, I was admitted into the Department of Political Science, Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Illinois. But when I went for my physical clearance, I was moved. So I was moved to the Department of History and International Studies. So here I am serving as president today. It is not as if I chose there as my original home. So I was moved there. So at first I was depressed. But at some point, I cheered up and I started embracing it, and I would say I love it. History is something everybody should know. And what I would just say to my part one self, if I can go back, is that I should have even what's it called, appreciated myself more, because then I was always looking myself as if I was not doing enough. Rather, I was doing to my best, and but I was always in the shoes of, am I doing enough? People are doing far better than me, and I was not even really seeing the good of what I was doing in what I was doing. Not until I started seeing the results in my year two, year three. So it is as a result of what I am today and what I have been in unionism. It is to God and also to the effort and also the labor I have put in my year one and two. So in my year one, I've also served a lot of people, and I've also served a lot of people. So it is me just not really appreciating what I was doing then. That is one thing I would have, but that one thing I would have corrected if I could go back. And another thing is, I would have started earlier. I would have started earlier. Because I came into unionism since when I got admitted, but I was not contesting immediately. I never contested until my year two, second semester. So I did not serve in year one, year two. I served in year three, and I'm currently serving in year four now. So probably I would have even started serving since my year one, because I would say unionism is too rigid for people that are not experienced to do what to handle. And I would say we had people that represented us. Some did well, and why some did not really do well. And those that did not do well, we later blamed ourselves that I would have done this thing better. And it is always painful that you know how to do something, but you did not take it up, probably because you think that the person that wants to take it up is better than you. So it is something that I would have done from my year one. So that's what I was just saying on that. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mohammed. Thank you. That was really, really insightful. And I'm sure that a lot of people have really learned a lot from what that you have said. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you have a final word before you leave? Because I know that you need to leave right now. Do you have any final word to say? Or you think
Okay.
you've
Okay. Thank you for having me. I'll say this is my first speaking section online. I really do physical speaking and not online speaking. And well, I would say probably I fidgeted at some point, and at some point I was cracking. I'll just say it is a great opportunity. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Princess. And thank you, my co speakers. And everybody listening today, I will tell you, don't limit yourself, because you are greater than even what you think that you are. If it's that I've limited myself, probably I would have rejected this role and said to the brother that I had an appointment to attend to today. And I'll just say, don't limit yourself. Things that you believe that you cannot do, you can do far better than them. Thank you for having me. I am Ajani Mohammed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muhammad. Yeah, really, really grateful. It's a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for all the amazing things you have said. I know that a lot of people have also learned a lot from you. And yes, this is really, really, we just, getting to inspire students and letting them learn from our experiences. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So let's quickly do something right now. Let's quickly do something. Is Mr. Ebon still here? Okay, I think he's still here. But I'm going to take my session. Sorry, I had a very rough day, but that's fine. You can see that I'm even outside. But yeah, the next 30 minutes will be done by 9, and trust us on that. By 9, you'll be done. But the remaining 30 minutes would actually be very, very amazing times. Would actually be a very amazing time for you. So I want you to really sit back to enjoy it. Now let's quickly say something really quick. I think Mr. Ebon is still here, right? Because I think I want to ask him a few questions before I go into my session, or I go into what I have to probably say.
Yes, he is still here with us. Should I add him to the stage?
Mm, yes, you could.
Ebon, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, Deborah. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's so nice to have you here. So nice. Thank you
Thank
for
you very
standing in the
much.
gap and thank you for all that you said. Okay, I would like to ask you a question. I know that you've dealt with a lot of students. I know that you've had experiences with students having a lot of problems, whether with their grades or with their courses or with their lecturers and all of that. So now, as a person who is that experienced, I would want to ask you two questions. The first thing is, what are the common mistakes that you think students make that affect their academics by themselves? Most times we say, oh, the lecturer gave me D, the lecturer gave me E, but when you have an A or a B, you tell yourself that yes, I got an A or a B. So what are the common mistakes that students actually make that they should actually avoid? And you can actually, go around and say different things. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. I think one of the common mistakes I have noted among students is that they don't pay attention in class. Or let me say, I mean, yes, maybe that's the very first thing to say. They don't pay attention in class. And what do I mean by that? You see, there are some of my lecturers that haven't attended their classes, I mean, one of their courses rather, for the first time. Meeting them again actually gives me a kind of a better leverage. All right. That means I have studied their pattern, I've studied how they ask their question, I have studied how, I mean, things like that. So one of the things I think students fail to understand is how to study their lecturer. You can actually study your lecturer and know how he's going to ask easier question. Yes, you can study your lecturer. All right. Right from part two, when certain lecturer took me, all right, part three, part four, part five, all their courses, all right, I actually had A's in their courses, A's, all. Because I could decode that, okay, when this man gives you something, under topic one is always very hard. So he's going to bring out topic one as section A, which is compulsory, 30 marks. Then section B, 15, 15. You see those things. Once you know how your lecturer has question, you are good to go. So study your lecturer. Then secondly, attend lectures. Attend lectures. Some lecturers actually use attendance. Yes, as an assistant lecturer, I can tell you that I have some of my lecturers that gives as much as 15 marks for attendance. When I was a student, I used to imagine that it's not possible, like Nigeria, 15 marks. Yes, my lecturer gives 10, 15 marks for attendance. And he's so strict that he says if you don't have at least 70%, is it 70% or 50% of that attendance, you don't have anything at all. But if you have that particular percentage, you have your 15 marks automatically. So when you see people fail that man's course, it just tells you one thing: they don't attend lectures. And the man will tell you that the only thing I can do is to look at your attendance and see that okay, this boy is a serious student. Let me upgrade. But once I check your attendance and I discover that your attendance is not even good at all, there's nothing for me to upgrade. I come back next year. So study a lecturer, attend lectures. And then the other mistake is that people fail to read what their lecturer gives first before going extra mile or before going outside of the syllabus. First, solve the questions the lecturer gives to you. Like study your lecturer's note, like study it very well. When you are done and you are good, then you can now go to study other textbooks to solve more questions. Yes, because we know that some lecturers, they are not word for word lecturers. They don't just give you one thing and then they bring exactly the same thing again. No, not all lecturers, okay? But just know what you have been given in class first. Some of these lecturers sometimes they don't have time. I have a lecturer currently. He gave it, I say it was funny. Like last year question, he just lifted everything there and brought, even me, I was well, I would say I was annoyed. I wasn't annoyed, but I was like, it kind of looks weird to me. Like you don't even change one thing. You lifted the last year question, you just brought it out like that. As how now. So in a situation like that, if you actually um studied your lecturer, you attended the class, and you solve the past question, you are, I mean, you have the advantage already. Okay, so I think so that I do not take most of our time. You study a lecturer, attend lectures, read the material that the lecturer gives to you first before you go extra mile. Okay, read the material and don't have this over familiarity in the sense that because you know the lecturer already, you know what he can ask, you only want to read what he says you should read. Well, it might shock you. And one of the things I want you to realize is that even if you read the thing and it doesn't come out, it's not a waste. You have the knowledge. All right. Because when people like saying that this work cannot come out, I won't read this. Don't worry. It is that what I say is that won't come out. That's when you see your question one. So our advice is that you read your slides, read them, understand them, and it's gonna be fine. So I think that's the summary I have. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I have one more question to ask you, but I really want you to answer it in a minute. I am a student. I have done all that I can, but I am still failing my courses. I attend lectures, I read my book, I go for tutorials, and I still have low grades. What should I do?
That's serious. Well, I think that question needs kind of a personal a personal counseling section because there are certain things that I would like to know. I mean, that's serious. You attend lectures, you attend tutorials, and you're still failing. I've met people like that before, but you see, this kind of question is peculiar. Sometimes you need to ask certain things like, how, what's going on? Is it that you don't understand? Is it that you're only okay? One of the persons that I spoke with as regards to this question, and one of the things I think was it a she or a he? I can't remember. There are a lot of them. And one of the things I think he told me was whenever he gets to exam, he's always very tense. Like even though he knows the question, it's not as if he didn't even attend tutorial. He's always very tense. Like I know it all, but how do I even write? So you see, people have different situations, different scenarios. So I think the question is actually peculiar. But I would say these kind of questions, I will need to ask the student what's the issue. So when I know the issue, then I can know how to go about it. But I will just say that let's assume you're always tense. So that means your confidence level, I mean, you're not very confident about what you know. So um, study very well, study and study and study, be sure, be certain, believe in yourself, trust in yourself, believe that you can do it. And when you get to the exam hall, I mean, there's nothing to fret about. Just write and just be positive. I think that's all I have to say for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Evan. That was really profound because I remember that the worst grade I had in school was actually because of fear. I had done my best, I had read a lot, and I got to the exam hall and I was fearful. I was fearful also because of what the lecturer had said, but it was basically my fault because I allowed it to get to me. So I got to the exam hall and there was a French exam, of course. So I got to the exam hall and then I was writing only for me to go blank at a point, and then I wrote what I had written and I had to like start again. My hand was shaking, I made a lot of errors, and by the time I was done with the exam, I knew that I had actually like done so wrong. And this in this same month's lecture, course, I offered this course again in the following semester and I had an A. So I'm really talking about the issue of fear. You need to really, really deal with it. You are not the first person that will write exams and you're not the last. And since then, I go to the exam hall like I'm going to a classroom, like I'm going for just an exercise. Don't have the mindset that, oh yes, you're going for an almighty program or an almighty what's it called, exercise. Just go there that, oh yes, you are just going to basically respond to whatever your lecturer has to say. Just be calm and ensure that you actually just do your best. Thank you so much, Mr. Ebon. If there's any other thing, I think I'll bring you up. Yeah, but we've really, really had an amazing time with you. Thank you so much. Okay, now. So, okay, let me, I think I have just about 20 minutes or less. So let me quickly go into the few things I would have to say here. Come in. Okay. Can you see my screen? I want to be sure that you can see my screen. I want to be sure that you can see my screen. I have Yeah, can you put it in the chat? I want to just be sure that I can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay, okay, very good. Right. Now we are talking about great growth and beyond. And I really just want to like make some very remarkable insights that I believe would help any students that would actually watch that is actually watching this or that would actually watch this. Now, this conference or this seminar was actually not brought out just because we wanted to organize any other program. It was actually because I saw a need and I felt like, oh yes, this thing needs to really, really be addressed. When I was in school, well, let me say before I got to school, I had planned how my school life would be. I knew what I wanted to graduate with. I knew what I wanted. I had set in some principles, and then that's all of those things guided me. Okay, and they've also like guided me even till after uni. And these are things I really, really want to share with you guys. So I'm going to be talking about grades. I'm going to be talking about growth, and I'm going to be talking about beyond. And what do I mean by beyond? Beyond actually means life after school and how well you should actually position yourself for that, for you to make the best of that. So I'm very sure that we must have welcome to my coaching room. I'm sure that we must have done the check-in, so I wouldn't really go into that. And this is just like a little bio. But here. So first thing I want to know is how critical this season is for you. As a student, you really need to understand that your time right now is so critical, it's so important, and it can make or mar your life, or make or mar your future. And why am I saying this? You are in the university, you are in a season of life, you are at a period where you're taking courses, you're interacting with life, you're interacting with an academic environment that has a whole lot to do with whatever certificate you would graduate with at the end of the day and how your experience would be. So I want you to actually take this time as a matter of all seriousness. I know that you may say that, oh yeah, but some people drop out, some people say school has scam. But let me tell you something that is actually really profound. And it is that for many graduates, go and ask many graduates, many of them really wish that they graduated with better grades than what they had. So know that this is actually a time where you need to like set a lot of pace for your future. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to like continue with the course of study that you have right now. You could actually transition, but your results can actually pave way for you. For instance, if you probably graduate to the first class, I'm just giving an example. Even if you will not continue with that career path, the fact that you graduate to the first class, you want everybody wants just first of all listen to you. Okay, so that is so important. As much as possible, put in your best in your academics. Then the next thing I want to talk about is about relationships. As much as I believe that yes, I emptied myself in school, I did all I could, I laid a legacy that I'm so proud of, across different aspects. I believe that I should have actually like made more connections. Yeah, I was actually sort of an introvert, so I wasn't really like the going type. But I actually believe that if I had made more meaningful connections, it would have actually been very good at that time. So know that this is also a good time for it to like make good network with people, because you may or may not need them in the future, but you would actually need that circle. And so it's actually so important. Then why also is this period very, very critical for you? It's critical because as much as you are here or you're in school for your academics, you're also really engaging even in the social aspects. You're engaging in the extracurricular aspect. Okay, you have your values, right? And you're getting to meet the values of other people. People are giving you and all of that, but you need to really know who exactly you are, where exactly you are going, and the principles that you need to really, really uphold. Because if you're not careful, you may actually be influenced, and this is the thing that you should really, really be careful about. Okay, so let me go into the next thing. And it is your vision board as a student, and this for me is also very, very peculiar. It's so peculiar. And why am I saying it's peculiar? A vision board is basically your promise board. It's basically what exactly you want to see yourself achieve at the end of the day. When I started school, I never knew anything about vision boards, but along the line, I knew about vision boards and I actually used them. So before I got to school, I told myself that okay, this was what I wanted to graduate with. Okay, I had my desired grade in mind, and so what did I do? I tried to like picture it. Picture your graduation day. Picture your graduation day. Picture how you want your graduation day to be. Picture how you want to wear the gown. If you want to like get any prize, picture how you want to get the prize. have it as a very, very strong picture. Then, if you can actually get someone who is who is familiar, whom you are familiar with, who has actually traded that place, then you could actually make that person a part of your vision board. For instance, during my time, I think that was part three, part four, part three, yes. As from part three, I made Fikemi Ogumbi. She's my neighbor, she's my big sister. I call her sister Fikemi. Okay, I made her my vision board in terms of success because she graduated with the first class. She was a law student as at that time, and so it was just very, very inspirational. So you could actually get the best students in your faculty or in the school, depending on what your goal is. And this is actually a thing that you can really have for yourself. You could, and then your vision board does not necessarily mean to doesn't necessarily have to like be boxed to your academics. You can have a vision board that talks about, okay, yes, what other things do you want to like do in school? Do you want to like intern? Do you want to like venture into extracurricular activities? What do you want to be known for? What legacy do you want to like lay behind? What is the track record that you want for yourself? And I can have a vision board around that. Okay, thank God, you have AI, so you could actually create something with your picture and a reality, a future reality of what exactly you want to really experience. And it's good that you probably print it out, paste it on your wall, and always see it every day. So you keep on reminding yourself that yes, this is where I am going, and I must not allow anything to actually debar me from getting there. Your vision board is a lot, and it can really, 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 really help you. So let me go on because I'm trying to beat time. The next thing I want to talk about is striving to be the best. Striving to be the best. And when I mean striving to be the best, I'm not talking about competition. By the time you actually graduate from, you would actually realize that even if you were competing with a particular person in your class, you realize that it really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I feel like most people actually graduate with whatever they would graduate with. So, and you need to actually move away from the competition mindset to the proficiency mindset, especially if you are dealing with languages. If you are studying a language, it's not just saying that yes, I want to graduate the first class. Are you proficient? Can you speak the language? Do you know the language? In your course of study, are you proficient in it? If they call you after graduation and they say, okay, yes, come and do this, can you do it perfectly? Or you have to like go back to take your notes? Okay, so being the best in terms of proficiency, ensure that the knowledge actually does something in you. The knowledge you're getting from in class does something in you. You must not just go to class for going sake. You are not just writing exams. You're not just cramming and pouring. You are basically understanding what the old concepts are, and you're trying to apply it to even what is happening in the society so that you can actually be useful. And that's and that's the essence of school, by the way. That's the whole essence of school. The whole essence of school is for you to be able to, digest whatever knowledge you have brought out and, make it for the common good. So strive to be the best in all that you do. And this would also really take me into upholding right. I know that some of you might, intern, you may have certain opportunities. Let me tell you that you're actually laying a legacy for yourself and you're laying a track record for yourself. So if you know that you will not be committed to any role, it is better that you do not pick it up than you picking it up and you don't do well in it. If you know that you are not financially transparent, then you don't need to even move anything you don't need to even move near anything. Okay. So you need to really, really ensure that you have great standards, have great values. There are some people that I worked with as team members when I was in school that I can never work with again. There are some people that I can never choose as my team members. And there are some people that I can actually say that, yes, I would actually choose as my team member because they were hardworking, they put in their best, and then they contributed and we achieved a lot. But that there are some people that all just like to always talk and talk without really doing. They like to always be the one to get the glory, but then they are not really, really active. You shouldn't be a person like that. I inside at the Central Office of Research, and I would really say that I did my best at that time. So wherever you are, know that you're laying a legacy. Try to do your best. Ensure that you have great standards. Be hardworking, be punctual, be truthful. You don't have any issues. Being known with vices. Even if you're in politics, there's to be different. So, and I really hope that you actually get that. The next thing I want to talk about is about challenges. And the thing is that challenges will definitely always come. Challenges are part of life. Challenges are really, 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 really part of life. Okay. Now, when I was in school, when I was in part two, I had like an health challenge at that time. I was going to teaching hospital regularly, I was going and all of that. At a point it was finances, at the point it was a thing was just happening and all of that. Right? Life is not roses. As when Ramat was here, she would have actually shared her own experience. She lost her mom and she's even still the VP right now. So challenges will always come, and that is why you need to be mentally resilient. You must be able to say yes, no matter what comes. I'm going to like forge on, I'm going to like make the best of it, and I'm going to like, be the best, even no matter what is exactly happening. You must ensure that yes, you are saying that yes, I would actually overcome all of this, and I'm going to be able to tell my story. Because let me tell you, if you think you have challenges, there are some people who have more challenges than you have, and they will still do better. There are some people who are physically challenged and they will get prizes. So what exactly what excuse would you have? There are some married women who would actually graduate with first classes. So what excuse will you a single have at the end of the day? So you would always have challenges, but prepare yourself that yes, challenges will come, but I'm going to surmount them and I'm going to be able to tell my story even at the end of my studies. The next thing I want to talk about is making the best of your school life. See, school life is just for a limited period. I know that many of you are saying, I cannot wait to leave school. I can only wait to leave school. But let me tell you, just make the best of it. Make the best of school life. There are opportunities for undergraduates. Get aware. Be in groups where they share opportunities. And when you need to apply for them with time. Ensure that you are active. Ensure that you apply for them passive. Make the best of what you can. At least during my time, I benefited from I think about two scholarships. Yeah. So, and it's not you must not be discouraged, because you may apply for several ones and you may not be picked, but then at least just keep on trying until you are. And then it's good that you also even speak to people who have won scholarships, so that they can easily guide you through and all of that. And it's good that you submit your applications early. So make the best of school. Tour your school. I know that there's who have probably never been to the zoo, have never like toured campus. Some don't even know where some faculties are. There are some people that don't know where the museum the museum is. You don't know where what is it called? The zoo is. You don't know where major places are. You should actually enjoy and tour school. You should actually make the best of school time. Attend seminars. From seminars, you could get opportunities. You would get answers. You would get clarity on even your next part of life. And I think those are very, 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 very important. I'm going to be answering some questions briefly, and let me know, please, if you have any questions. Let me know. But I think we have quite a number of questions from what we had from the form that many people filled. So let me see. Let me see if I could answer some here. Okay. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. All right. Let me get into this question. Coming, just a minute. All right. So let me read some of them here. Okay. Someone says, is it normal for me not to read in phone, not because of distraction, but my eyes is somehow blurry and not comfortable with small screen? Okay, so to answer this quickly, I would say that I started using glasses. I used glasses rather when I was in part one, and that was because of phone. I started using a smartphone in part one, and that the ultraviolet light really affected my eyes. Then I had to get the photochromic glasses at that time. So a thing that I would really advise, if you know that you have that eye challenge, you could actually do more of printing. Printing really saves you that. Then you could actually need to probably get a photochromic lens so that it can actually protect you from the Blu-ray. I think that is so important. The next question I have here is, how can I stay awake of going through what I've been taught every day? So now, as a student, I must really see that you need to have your timetable. Time would not permit me to share. When I was in school, in my part three, I had a 247 timetable that I planned for myself. Like my whole day, my 247 was basically planned Okay, you need to actually have principles. You need to be able to manage your time, and you need to have a life design. A life design is so important. A life design allows you to say, okay, yes, this is when I wake up, this is when I go to bed, this is the hour that I would actually study, this is when I would have for extracurricular activities, this is when I would read, this is when I would probably attend my place of worship and all of that. So you seriously need a life design. You need a new life design. You need to be able to set out time. You could tell yourself, okay, and understand yourself. Are you a morning person? Are you a night person? Where can you study better and create a schedule around that? Have an accountability partner, have a mentor that you can always report to. And I think that would really help. Then how can I manage my school life and business life? Okay, well, it depends on the type of business that you want to do. During my time, I told myself that I was not really going to engage myself too much with business because I knew the good I was aiming for, and I knew the exigencies. I knew what it would require of me. So I knew that combining business and academics wouldn't have been possible at that time. So what I used to do then was during the break, I would like make my artworks, I would make whatever thing I want to like make during the break. But during school time, I really minimized my businesses. And then okay, in part two, I actually baked cake. When I baked, I was baking when I was in part two, but I decided I was only going to like take orders during the weekend. So I would only take orders on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, I guess. It was short during the weekend, so I didn't want anything to affect me during the week. So I think it's also in you knowing how best to work. Then when I was away from my language immersion program in Brazil, I needed to really sustain myself. So what I did was that I only made little business. I only did little business that could allow me to just fend for myself, allow me to be able to eat, and just live well without saying that, oh yes, I want to like save a lot, I want to like be known as the entrepreneur of the year. So I think those can really help you. The next thing is um how can a beginner master French with ease? I want to believe that this is one of my students, and I already have a session with them, so you could actually ask that there. What are the practical ways to make myself stick to my study timetable? Okay, you need to actually have an enabling environment. Let me tell you, for me, I used to go to the library. If you know that your hostel will not work for you, please just get up and go to the library. I then in school I used to like leave. I think we have just 3 minutes, so we would have to round up now. We have to like leave. I would leave out. I would leave my hostel by 7:40 to go to the library. If I had class by 8, I would go for my class. If I didn't have class by 8, then I would actually go straight to the library. From library, go to my class, come back to the library, and I was just saying like that. So you need to really understand yourself. If you know that you need a tight corner, I mean, you need to like put yourself you need to stretch yourself for you to be able to make the best of your academics. Then you need to, if you know that you need to like have a reading partner, if that would make reading better for you, then you need to. If you know that you need to like be a friend of the best students in your class, then you need to. If you need to actually have an accountability partner that you'd always report to every week, then you seriously need to. Okay. Seriously, I feel like we have quite a number of questions here, and I do not think we'll be able to exhaust them. But I don't want to make promises, but I think I'll probably try to probably make a video, right, and to answer those questions, and so you could actually come back to them. If you're not following me on my socials already, I think you should, so that you would get to know when the video drops. The video would actually be channel here, and if you're not yet subscribed, I think you should really. So let me quickly know how has today's sessions been for you? How have the sessions been for you? What's your takeaway? What did you learn? What will you start doing? Let us quickly know in a minute before we round up. I would also bring Princess back on stage. So let me see. How was today's session for you guys? What did you learn? How was it for you? What do you think you would want to like learn better? Let me just know here. Okay. I think we can get any response here. So I think I must really appreciate every single person for coming. I must appreciate you all and the team for all that you've done. Princess, thank you so much. Fire, thank you so much for all that you have done. Princess, I think I will just really leave you to just round up. You have less than a minute. So just round up and then
Okay.
we'll call it.
All right, thank you very much, Ibukun, for that beautiful section. And we also want to thank the speakers again, everyone that made time to be here today. Although we didn't get a chance to hear from everyone, from all of the speakers, but I'm very sure that we've taken up a few things from the speakers that we've listened to. So thank you very much, Ebun. Mohammed is out already. Thank you very much. And to everyone that joined, to everyone that participated today, thank you very much. We hope to have something like this again in the future, and we believe that it will definitely be way better than what we had here today. So thank you everyone for your time. The flyers of the speakers are already on the group chat, so you can follow them on their social media handles. Do well to follow them, and you can also connect, get to know each other, connect with people from other universities. I believe it's someone, one of the speakers talked about networking. So this is also an opportunity for you. So thank you everyone and have a good night. Bye.